What's up, witches? Here I am, the Zen Witch, with an unboxing for you today. And we are looking at a deck called Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power. This is by Laura Santi. Beautiful book, beautiful Thangka art. Let me zoom you in. A little bit more. Okay, there we go. So you have this Thangka style art and some beautiful gold foil on the box. Same thing here, Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power, some lovely flowers. Deck and Guidebook. Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power deck and book set presents sacred figures from the Buddhist and Hindu pantheon of deities and demons to help us with our earthly challenges. The colorful cards were created from paintings done in the beautifully detailed style of ancient Asian Thangka artwork, and that is spelled Thangka, like Thang with Ka on the end. Thangka artwork. These complex images allow our minds to absorb the spiritual meaning and energy of the art. With their powerful messages, the 50 cards may be used for prayer and meditation work as well as learning about Buddhist beliefs and practices. Laura Santi introduces the deities and shares their fascinating stories with humor and a warm narrative style. Ganesh, quote, "Ganesh is like that uncle who knows everyone and can introduce you to anyone." Set includes 50 cards and 92-page illustrated guidebook. U.S. Games, and this is copyright 2018. Pardon me, let's go in. There we go. All right. So we have the guidebook here. Beautiful matte cover. On the back it says, "In your light, I learn how to love. In your beauty, how to make poems. You dance inside my chest where no one sees you, but sometimes I do, and that sight becomes this art." And that is a quote from Rumi, the Book of Love. Interesting that they use a quote from a Sufi mystic for this Buddhist deck, but it's a beautiful quote, very appropriate. All right, look at this nice orange box. There's significance in Thangka art, and actually I think I'm going to read you just a little thing in the introduction here. "Is not impermanence the very fragrance of our days?" Rilke. Okay. Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power contains a smattering of the diverse pantheon of Buddhist and Hindu deities, bodhisattvas, mandalas, demons, and historical figures, the famous and the humble. It is a microcosm of the world at large and a sort of Buddhism 101 with a little Hinduism for spice from my Thangka art painted over the last 15 years. And as you know, Buddhism has its roots in Hindu culture. The imagery of Thangka art is specific and codified. The imagery comes from what practitioners through the ages have seen and felt after entering into deep meditation states and through intense visualization after learning the minutiae of elaborate, detailed puja or prayer practice. It is intriguing that this highly stylized and codified art form, however, is all about the ephemeralness of energy. That means the non-permanent. Ephemeral means it's here and then gone. Human frailty in the face of emotion and thought, and the mystery of what it is to be human and alive one moment and in the very next gone. The deities in this deck are all aspects of God, as if God were playing all the characters in a play about human nature and the nature of the universe. Pardon me. This is why, for example, the goddess Green Tara is always shown as sweet and smiling, sitting on a lotus holding 2 blue flowers. Her form represents a specific energetic state. If we painted Green Tara as an elderly woman, she would be a different energetic state and not really a depiction of Green Tara. In the end, all this polydynamic energy is sometimes given a title of the various names of God. It is present in our minds, the universe at large, and in one drop of dew falling from a blade of grass. Our mind sees this energy through the prism of our humanness. We attempt to make sense of what we experience and what comes to us in dreams and visions. And so the mind assigns animal and human forms to the energetic beings and ghosts, deities and fields of energy summoned through prayer. These are their images. So in Tibetan Buddhism, in deity yoga isn't about worshiping God. It's about awakening that particular image of God in your own system. So she acknowledges here that the thing that people call God, is this unified, it's the universe, basically. But in order to approach that, in order for our temporal brains to have anywhere close to a grasp of it, we have to break it down into things that our brains can comprehend. And so we put faces and names on things. And in Tibetan Buddhism, in Thangka art, every attribute, and in deity yoga, every attribute of that deity in that image has a significance. So you can understand the qualities that are in you that you're trying to awaken by studying these Thangkas and knowing what all those attributes are. It's just a way of internalizing the system. And I love that it's a visual way of internalizing, because we can list the attributes with our left brain, but putting the visual in there takes it into more parts of the brain, and you know what happens. The more of your brain you engage, the more powerful something is. Okay, let's get going now. Let's look at the backs. Beautiful, like henna art pattern. As a henna artist, I'm looking at this and going, okay, here's where I'd start that pattern. Here's where I'd go with it. So we have number 1, the infant Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Call on Ganesh to remove obstacles in your life. Ganesh likes candy, by the way. Green Tara, the Bodhisattva of compassion in action. Compassion with action yields results. Absolutely. I mean, you can sit and have compassion and just feel it, feel for someone. But Green Tara is about acting. And what tells us that is her foot coming off the cushion. She sits on this cushion. One leg is folded in, which says she has mastered the power of, I can't remember which, maybe desire. But this foot stepping off of the cushion says that she's active. And, every single part of her has significance. The way her head is tilted, each of the gems in her crown, the blue nalini flowers, which is the night blooming lotus, the mudras of her hands have a significance. And I won't go into all those now because this is a deck unboxing. All right, the chakras and the 4 guardian angels. How interesting. Call upon the guardians of our psychic energy. So I'm curious about this one because guardian angels is not a term that's used in this system. Let's see what she says. There are centers in the body where energy moves like quicksilver. They're the places where we can shift the energy state through touch, intention, or physical movement. They are called chakras, meaning little vortex wheels, and they are also called acupuncture points. The grand river of our energy runs down the center front of the torso and up the back, crisscrossing front to back through the 7 major chakras on the center line, and making them turn like water wheels. They are crossroads of the highways of the psychic nervous system. Everyone has felt their chakras at one time or another, but it is the awareness of that fact that is the first step in learning to govern your energy. Okay, I'm going to scan down here. The symbols for the body chakras are rising up amidst this tree of life. Here we have them. 4 medallions representing the Christian guardian archangels, Uriel, Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael, guard the energy system standing at the 4 corners. These great angels have their counterpart in Buddhism. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for not just throwing in something out of left field there. Have their counterpart in Buddhism, the Herukas. All spiritual traditions alive today emerged at a time when people lived closer to the earth and were more aware of the subtle movements of energy, the beings in other dimensions, and the afterlife. Great archetypes have their counterpart in every culture. Okay, so thank you. She satisfied me. Let's move on. Now we have Pada, the ancient tantric Mother Goddess, origin of all goddesses. Mother energy pours forth life. And this is very interesting because I've never heard of Para before. Tara, yes, but not Para. And they call Tara Mother of the Buddhas. So I'm very interested. She's a white goddess. Color is, of course, significant. Holds the Book of All Wisdom in a crystal mala. I mean, and I'm also aware of Prajnaparamita, who's the heart of wisdom. I've never heard of her. Now I want to do some research. So there she is. Then we have the red Dakini, who dances in the white Mahakala's heart. Love is the most powerful force of all. The Dakinis are like nature spirits that represent different energies as well. Kubera, patron of the arts, creator of abundance. Be a creator of abundance. So interesting that she doesn't seem to have grouped these cards as far as like deities and historical figures. She just kind of goes through. So I'm very interested to know like what her process was in deciding how the deck is ordered. And there's my story and my inspiration section. So she talks about how she paints. Then there's a history of Tanka art. And I'm not going to read that right now. I will do that on my own time. But this guy is certainly got to be an historical figure. Kali Troma Namo's mandala mansion. Stand firm to cut through tension, doubt, and fear. So here we're bringing in Kali, which is a Hindu deity. Kali Troma. Sorry, I'm going to be looking up a lot back and forth here, so, click ahead if you're not down with that. Kali's mandala, and Kali's color is blue-black. All right, Kali, or Troma Nagmo in Tibetan, is the great wrathful mother of compassion. So, these pantheons cross. Buddhism and Hinduism are they're all intertwined and crossing. So we've got Kali here. Then we have Kali Troma Nagmo, goddess of time. So this is Kali's mandala. And this is Kali herself, goddess of time. Conquer ignorance and delusion through helping others. So look at this. Look at this fearsome image. And this is something that Westerners can have a tough time with, is you're looking at a deity here. And usually there's some things kind of missing. She has a crown of skulls. Usually she's got like a necklace that's made out of skulls. And she's dancing on top of a body down here. Oh, there's the necklace of skulls. It's just huge. I see. She's got somebody like all bloody and gross looking in her hand there. And usually it shows her like devouring some images of her. She's squatting over her lover and devouring his entrails. I had a little bit of insight into this one time, and whether this is, accurate to this system or not, I don't know, but it was my insight into her that, Kali being a black goddess, I think of the earth and the blackness of the earth and how the earth consumes all of everything that's dead and dying and rotten. The earth consumes it and transforms it into fertility. And that's how I see Kali, is there is nothing too, we make judgments and call things icky and gross, but there's nothing too icky that she doesn't consume it with relish and transform it into something useful. Skull cup of the inner offering. Giving creates a flow of health and love. So many images that are very foreign to Western eyes. Padma Sambhava, this is a saint, the 8th century Mahasiddha wild man. Intense practice yields great results. So he is a saint that is revered and emulated and prayed to. Princess Mandarava, first wife to Padma Sambhava. Sometimes love changes the course of a life, it says. The ecstatic Dakini, lion-headed Simamukha, Old age brings wisdom and fierce certainty. The brilliant mind of Ushnishavijaya, goddess of long life. I've never heard of her either. The path of the intellect can yield a long life. Ushnishavijaya. Wow. Durga, the warrior goddess, dispeller of darkness, another Hindu deity. Become a warrior to dispel the darkness. A devotee, playing a guitar, offering his gift of song. Your skills are gifts you can share with others. I like the messages on these cards a lot. Look at the eagle coming down, like a bald eagle. And I love just the style of her artwork. It looks very authentic to the Tanka style. Amoga Siddhi, Buddha guardian of the North, cultivating a well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. Lalita Tripura Sundari, the playful red goddess. Life will be an adventure if you let it unfold from within. Another one I've never heard of. I am loving this. Vishnu, God preserver of the celestial realms. Vishnu, Brahma, and, oh my God, I can never remember all of them. Anyway, God preserver of the celestial realms, the life force within us is the same power that created the universe. Ding, 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 ding. Think of that. 1,000 armed Avalokiteshvara. In Tibetan, they call him Chenrezig. He who looks compassionately upon the earth. So this is the God of compassion, the Buddha of compassion. Quiet compassion is sometimes the best course. Vajrasattva, father of the 5 Buddha families. You are fine just the way you are. And what are the Buddha? It's like Ratna, Padma. I don't know them. But there he is. Prajnaparamita. Okay, so para is not Prajnaparamita. It's a separate thing. This is the heart of perfect wisdom. Wisdom goddess of the 3 times, past, present, future. The writings of great beings have the voice of God within. So Prajnaparamita means the heart of perfect wisdom. Vajrapani Hayagriva, guardian at the temple gate. Use your strengths to help someone who is struggling. Look at the flames. So the colors have significance. Black, blue black, purple black are powerful and wrathful. They call them wrathful. So their energy comes from wrath. There's red ones, green ones. White is peaceful and compassionate. There's gold. Lots of different versions, but you can see by the flames and by his face and by his stance and his color that he is a wrathful God. Use your strength to help someone who's struggling. 23 is Medicine Buddha, the lapis lazuli healer king. Sometimes it is good to seek help from others. Sri Yantra. A yantra is like a mandala. It's geometry. Cosmic map to your true, playful, laughing self. When feeling disheartened, stop and watch a child at play. I'm going to do something here and close something because it's making my camera jump, and I wonder if my computer's getting strained again. Vajravarahi, enlightened sky dancer of the Kundalini. What ignites the fire inside you? Look within. So the Kundalini is this serpent of energy that is lying coiled at the base of the spine at the root chakra. And when the energy is settled there, we are in survival mode. Fight, flight, fuck, flee, fight, flight, fuck, fawn. That's the 4th one. And it's all about, our animal instincts, the instinct to mate, our desire, our fear, what keeps us alive. And the goal of practice is to raise the kundalini, which means the serpent uncoils and stretches up that column through the chakras, and we go up into higher and higher, levels of existence, I guess. And one of the things in tantric practice, when people hear the word tantra, a lot of times they think sex, if you haven't encountered what actual tantric practices are about. But there is a vein that is sexual, because in Hinduism and in Buddhism as well, the tradition says that the female carries the Shakti within her. The female has an innate, direct connection to the divine. It resides within her. The male does not. And so the male must tap into the female system. And you can imagine how that tapping in, literally plugging in to the system where the Shakti resides, gives him access to that then. Mantra seed syllable of the goddess Vajravarahi. Words have great power. Use them for greater good. Now I'm going to look here to see. I'm certain that they would give you that syllable. Vajravarahi. Okay, talks about Kundalini and Prana and the diamond sow. Okay, I'm reading the wrong one. Criminy. Bum. Okay, her bija sound is bum. Bum, bum, bum. Seed syllables, or bijas in Sanskrit, are individual sounds that contain the full power of their mantras. Each of the chakras has a bija syllable, and each of the chakras has a lotus with a certain number of petals. And each of the petals has its own syllable as well that relates to a certain part of the body, a certain part of your energy meridians. So, okay. Dorje Drolo, the crazy wisdom, wrathful Buddha. Let go of being logical. A higher wisdom will guide you. Practicing Chod, C-H-O-D. Extend your awareness to the energetic edges or boundaries of the universe. I'm going to look this one up as well. I wonder if she talks about this earlier, what Chod is. I think it's kind of like the difference between Zen Buddhism and Shinto in Japan. One is more a folk religion, territorial things, and the other is Buddhism that is sort of an overlay to that. I thought I saw her talking about Chod. Longchen, okay. Met and received teachings from another great teacher, Lama Tsering Wangdu Rinpoche, a lineage holder of the Longchen, Nyingthig, Shije, and Chod traditions. Both men are unlike many lifetimes. Okay. Chod pacification practice, which is essentially a healing art as well as a path to complete realization. Okay, so it's a healing tradition. Extend your awareness to the energetic edges or boundaries of the universe. And imp, one of the 8 classes of demons. Choose positive thoughts that will chase away the devil. And the 8 demons are sometimes called the 8 fears. I think that's probably the same thing as the 8 fears. Or maybe this is the 8 classes of demons. Let's see if she says. I'm just kind of looking to see how much of an instructional vehicle this is. Yes. Okay, so this is not the same as the 8 fears. We have Sadags, titans or guardians of the upper realms. Maras, obstacle creators. Rahula, the force behind eclipses that bring adversity or obstacles. Te Rang, imps that move household objects and make children sick. Rakshasas, demons. Yakshas, tricksters. Mamo, ogres or demonesses. And Nagas, water and earth spirits. Okay. There we go. Choose positive thoughts that will chase away the devil. Akshobhya, in the realm of the Eastern Pure Lands, objective, focused observation illuminates the truth. Dance with Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Give yourself over to joy and your life will flow. Yeshitsogyal, wisdom lake queen. Celebrate the creative feminine energy and the vitality of life. I'm surprised I haven't seen White Tara here yet. Vajrakilaya. Ooh, I like his mantra. Vajrakilaya, the magician. What you identify with becomes who you are. Well, heck yeah, that's why you identify with it. Garuda, protector. I want to say something again here. If it weren't part of you already, you wouldn't identify with it in the first place. So, when you identify with something, it's part of your identity. Duh. Garuda, protector from the serpent race. Raise your eyes to a bird in flight to connect to the divine. Oh, I like that. There's spell work in that. White Tara, there she is, offers liberation. By your quiet listening, you can liberate others from fear. Padampa Senge, the cremation ground dwelling tantric master. Be courageous. Anything life gives can be an inspiration. Okay, so in Tibetan Buddhism as well, in Tantra practices, in Vajrayana practices, which is fast vehicle, nothing is a waste. Everything is usable energy towards enlightenment. So we don't try to, get rid of our baser instincts. We just use the energy of them to move us towards enlightenment. Chakra Samvara, union of wisdom and compassion. Lovemaking can bring wisdom and compassion or mire us in lust. White Mahakala, god of prosperity and wealth. Wish others wealth and happiness, yours will come too. And this is one of the things in the 7-limb purification prayer. You rejoice to purify jealousy. So when someone else has something good happen to them, you rejoice in it too, and then you have the good energy as well. You have the joy of it. The 8 manifestations of Padma Sambhava, the lotus-born one. A great teacher is a treasure. Seek to find one. Vajravarahi's creation fusion mandala, bliss swirls of delight. Focus on beauty, manifest harmony. Buddha Dakini, the white Buddha family of the center. Replace ignorance by studying spiritual teachings. Ratna Dakini, now we're getting into the 5 Buddha families. Ratna, so Buddha, Ratna. The yellow Buddha family of the south. Replace pride by knowing that separateness is an illusion. Padma Dakini, the red Buddha family of the west. Replace greed by cultivating discrimination. Karma Dakini, the green Buddha family of the north. Replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments. And then Vajra Dakini, the blue Buddha family of the east. Replace hatred through learning and wisdom. Rahula, fierce planetary deity of the sky. Confront the things that scare you the most if you want to go forward the fastest. 8-armed Kuan Yin, bodhisattva of compassion. When stuck in anger, cultivate compassion. A fierce Purba-wielding blue Dakini. This is a Purba, I think, is this thing in her hand like a dagger. Conduit from the sky to the earth, be fierce and vanquish whatever is holding you back. Vajravarahi, guiding the dead safely through the bardo. The bardo is the in-between time after death. Death is only a door. Choose the door leading to the light. And then the last we have primordial Buddha Vajradhara, brilliant sky, illuminating sun. The entire universe manifests out of awareness. So I'm interested because this seems to stray like outside of the traditions that I've stuck my toe into, and to bring in a lot more. So her choices are very interesting to me at this point. I am going to right now offer, if my charcoal's still going, yes it is, yay, offer to this deck. As soon as it starts burning, I think it's still going. There we go. This wonderful scent of the fire of Azrael. Let me pull you away a bit. There we go. And I'm also going to offer ocean water to bless this by air, fire, water, earth. I'm going to offer it a bell to bless it with spirit, the element of sound, or the element of spirit and the faculty of sound. And then invite ancestors and allies, guides and guardians, Buddhas and Dakinis to come in and open my mind and let messages flow through. All right. We're going to shuffle. A little bit large, but they bend just fine. But they're kind of too large to do that way. Let me see if I can do it sideways. I've never been a side shuffler. Oh, that actually worked. Let's do that again, and then we'll cut shuffle. I'm always fascinated watching other readers shuffle. I just like to know how people do things. Okay, so the question I am asking, I open my mind, what message do my viewers need today? Wow, they came shooting out. 9, 8, 7. Okay, so we've got them right in a row here. I think I'm going to take the top one and I'm going to shuffle some more. Because they didn't get to, that's an inadequate shuffle to me when you're first doing a deck and you get them all in a row. Okay. What do we need to know today? What do we need to know in order to feel empowered, in order to connect with the Buddha inside of us, in order to uncover our latent potential and our, ooh, okay, they don't want to shuffle anymore, that's for sure. I'm going to put these here and take 2 off the top. All right, now we've got a variety. And we have Skull Cup, Rahula, and Vajrasattva. Giving creates a flow of health and love. Confront the things that scare you most, and you are fine just the way you are. Okay, so we have 3 very distinct messages here, and that's telling me right off the bat that this deck is probably going to be the best when you do a card a day kind of thing. Give me a message for today. Sorry, I'll get my crochet out of the way. Okay. So the first one, giving creates a flow of health and love. If you're feeling stuck, one of the best things to do is help somebody. And that, in turn, helps you. The inner offering is a heavily symbolic offering visualized in the highest tantric practices of Tibetan Buddhism. It is a symbol of the work needed to transform the mind to overcome the illusions of our life. What we think life is, what we think is good, desirable, or normal, and anything else that obscures the truth and the ability to reach enlightenment. So, what really stands in the way of enlightenment, pure and simple, is judgment, is our judging mind. This is worthy, this is not. This is good, this is bad. This is desirable, this is undesirable. There's a quote, I'll have to look this up to see who it's from, but it says, "The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences." When hope and fear are absent, everything is clear and undefiled. To make the slightest distinction, heaven and earth are pulled infinitely apart. So it talks about taking in life as it is, all of it now at face value without dividing it into good and bad. And that taking it all in, residing in the infinite now and open to every part of it non-judgmentally, is the gateway to enlightenment. That gives you access to, nirvana, to bliss. But as soon as you start judging, then heaven and earth, everything is pulled into 2, liked and not liked, so forth. Okay. A cup made of a human skull rests on 3 heads representing past, present, and future time, and also the practitioner's body, speech, and mind that are purified with spiritual practice. The single fissure at the front of the skull cup represents the fact that we need both method and wisdom to reach enlightenment. The fissure, I guess it's this, the seam here. The tried and true teachings and writings of all the practitioners before us and the cultivation of our intellect. On either side of the cup, beyond the frame, are 2 nectar-filled vases with a sandalwood pole topped with yak tails. Okay, wait a minute. Is that this? On either side of the cup, beyond the frame, I'm not really sure. Are these the yak tails? I guess. Okay, whatever. Victory flags flutter in the wind from each pole. I think these are the flags, but I don't see the pole. Zzz. All right. Stirred up by the flames below the skull cup, this card represents a celebration. It's not so easy to overcome our conditioning in the ways of the world. Shit. The flame also indicates the intense focus on practice that builds up heat in the human energetic system. Fire flares up from that heat, melting and boiling all the products of human existence and life in the world, including the 5 waste products of the human body, transforming them into an elixir called Amrita. When spiritual practice bears fruit, the body's energies dissolve and move up the central channel. This is symbolized by the white syllable Ah above the skull cup right there. The fire of intense practice burns away all impurities in the heart, body, and mind. It opens the central channel, and the energy now awakened and enlivened pierces through the chakras to bring enlightenment. Wow. That's a lot going on there, and I gotta say, I don't really see, she didn't mention the animals. We've got, I am reading the right one, yes, I am. 9, skull cup of the inner offering. She doesn't mention the elephant, the horse, the cow, and that might be a donkey. And who this being is up here. I am disappointed. When we have a system where every part of it is significant, it makes me sad that she doesn't talk about all the parts of it. Yeah, okay. So, Rahula, confront the things that scare you most. And I am here to tell you, if you want to... I am smelling Cherry Jolly Rancher for some reason. Internally. Okay, whatever. If you want to move yourself forward through, processing your trauma, your karmic lessons, go to a therapist and open your mouth and say the thing that you swear you're going to take to your grave, the thing that causes you the most shame. Just tell that to that person and start working on it, and you will move forward very, very quickly. Okay. Rahula began life as Rahu, a maleficent troublemaker born under a bad sign, pun intended. He was the son of Nag, the snake deities, and earth treasure guardians, and a Rakshasa, a demon. Legend has it that he snuck into a feast and sat between the sun and moon, causing an uproar and a scuffle when they discovered him, whereupon they cut off his head. His head then roamed the sky, occasionally swallowing the sun or the moon in spiteful revenge, creating eclipses. Astrology in general finds that calamities and disasters occur with the occlusion of the sun or moon's rays, and so he was greatly feared. The famous Mahasiddha Padma Sambhava, on his journey from India to Tibet, ran into a number of terrifying demons that plagued the land. One of them was Rahu, but Padma Sambhava was a crafty and gifted enigmatic magician. He tamed Rahu by first getting him to tell him his name, then taking his power from him, and so binding him to the ways of Buddhism. Like convincing the mafia to work on a sting operation for the FBI, Rahula became a heavy for the good guys. Oh my God, what a great description. With his terrifying eyes and gaping mouth, he now protects and defends the Buddhist teachings. His name became Rahula, La meaning Lord. Surrounded by flames that signify his high mastery, Rahula is the Naga king, and poison is his favorite substance. He rules over gambles, prostitutes, and atheists. Wow! I want to know a lot more, and that's all it says. But confront the things that scare you most is a hell of a potent message. Because the truth is, fear is a magnifier. Fear always makes things bigger than they are. Personal story. When I was in labor with my daughter and I was having a home birth, my midwife at one point said, I should go in and take a bath. They would hang out in the living room. I should go soak in the tub for a little while. And my first thing was fear. It's like, no, I can't. And, they were with me and stroking my hands and, helping me to breathe when I was having a contraction, all this kind of stuff. So I thought about going in the bathtub and being in labor. It's like, I can't do this by myself. No, I can't, And then it hit me that I was the only one having the baby and nobody else could do a fucking thing for me, really? So I got into the tub and just confronted it head on. And anytime a contraction would start coming, I would do my breathing, and it was just deep, slow breathing, loose jaw. And I would go straight for it. It's like, okay, come on, here comes a contraction, because usually pain is like, ah. But it was like, okay, come on, show me what you got. And it would never get as bad as I thought it was going to get, and it would always start going down long before I thought it would. It would always be shorter and less painful than I thought because I went to look it in the face. So the things that we are most frightened of are the things, and of course being frightened, we turn away. But those are the things that we really need to turn toward. And when we do, when we go with the intention of seeing the truth of it, the fear diminishes most of the time. Okay, Vajrasattva. This one says, you are fine just the way you are, and what a great ending message that is, that we don't have to fix ourselves. We want to enjoy life to the fullest here, and doing spiritual practice gets us that. But it's not because we're, horrible, shameful, sinful people and we'll never get to heaven, We'll never get to heaven because we think we're serious, awful, sinful people. Heaven being nirvana, heaven being bliss, heaven being the ability to be fully in this moment in peace. So here we go. Vajrasattva is the father of the 5 Buddha families, the complete embodiment of all their wisdoms, the paterfamilias of us all. He exists beyond time and space in that place of sameness and oneness before the birth of the 10,000 things. He helped, all of which we will list right now. He helps practitioners become purified in body, speech, and mind by realizing their deepest nature in a lucid moment of simplicity brought to light after all the struggles of the mind and heart, working to become a better person, or all the other aims and aspirations we struggle with in the quest for happiness. He helps us realize that we were never impure, never full of sin, or in need of any improvement at all. Vajrasattva has various roles, but this realization of self-acceptance is the one most commonly sought after by practitioners practicing his sadhana. Just his practice, whatever. He also helps keep one devoted to practice and repairs broken tantric vows. A golden Vajra balances on end above his right palm. There we see it. Representing the mind, one of the ways a practitioner can enter into the mandala of reality. The left hand holds a silver bell that is at rest on his thigh, representing wisdom. Okay, together, They represent the fusion of all polarities into one enlightened experience. So that's the thing. We're trying to get away from polarity into oneness. He looks down at us with a gaze of total acceptance. His practice is a good antidote for irrational guilt or self-hatred. In contrast to the Christian doctrine of original sin, Tantric Buddhism asserts original purity. Let's say that again. In contrast to the Christian doctrine of original sin, it's in you before you even become. Tantric Buddhism asserts original purity. We are born pure, but then we get lost in the world. Stories about his nature often have to do with having lost your way and, like the prodigal son, returning to your true home or the realization of your true nature of purity. He is associated with the dawn of the morning, the start of the new, the potential to begin again. Wow. So, excellent messages. If you want health and love to flow through your life, give it to others. Offer it to others. If you're dealing with a lot of fear and anxiety, face them. Walk towards the thing that scares you the most and tell it to reveal itself. And understand that you were born pure. You came in pure. And through the experience of the senses and, the nature of our human brain with its likes and dislikes, things get pulled apart into good and bad. And then then we're off. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely not a deck to pull with what should I do today? Or possibly you'd get some wisdom and tell me about tell me the truth about this particular situation. But being a tool of Buddhist practice, I think it's entirely consistent with that, the way this deck manifests in just, here is your lesson for today. What lesson do I need to focus on? What practice should I look into a little bit more? And a great way to introduce you to a lot of the different sadhanas and practices of Buddhism and Hinduism. A great just introductory thing. Give me something to study further. I know there's tons of stuff here that I'm going to be studying on further because a lot of things here I've never encountered before. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. A lot of eye-opening things, a lot of mind-opening things, and new encounters, and I always love that. So if you got something from it, please consider, first of all, liking and subscribing if you haven't done that yet. Also consider sending me a donation or DMing me for a personal reading, astrology, and/or tarot. Also consider joining my Patreon, where I will teach you how to be an astrologer, and you can be in on Zoom classes and just Zoom calls and personal access to me. There's all kinds of stuff there, so hit that Patreon link. If you want to buy me a deck and I'll read for you in my unboxing, you can also do that because the wish list is down below. Also, if you've seen my prayer circles, my prayer rituals on Saturdays, and you're interested in those prayer beads, there's a link below that will, I think there's a link below, I hope there is, that will take you to the how to do it and links to purchase the prayer bead craft along kits. So that's all the business stuff. Hit that like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe if you haven't done it already. I will see you again on Saturdays for prayer ritual. I will see you on Mondays and Fridays for unboxings and various other things, and Wednesdays for readings in the evening. Till then, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.